All right, today's session is about graphic design badges. And these are things I see all the time on shirts, and so that's why we're going to take a look at it, right? I've got everything should be posted up for you. I've emailed things to you and got things posted on Schoology, but here's the assignment. I'm going to ask for 3 examples of a graphic design badge. They don't have to be super fancy today, you just kind of get the idea. I've got some tips on here, not going to read it to you, going to work with just showing it to you in the movie. Remember a couple of things. If you're on the remote desktop, you could use that Drive file stream utility. If you connect to that, it makes a connection to your Google Drive. You can save your work on your Google Drive. That could make it easier for you to turn in. But you can also just send me a screenshot, or if you absolutely cannot do the assignment because you can't get connected, you've run into some kind of problem and you just can't get it solved, then do the alternative version. I'm going to be posting an alternate version on Schoology that just involves pencil and paper, and take a picture of it and send it in. Or you could use Procreate, or you could use Google Canvas or whatever. But you just kind of do a different version of it and get it to me however you can get it to me, email it to me or whatever. All right, but try to do this first. Try to do this one first. Okay, so first of all, when we talk about badges, graphic design badges, and I think these are so much fun. If we were at school, gosh, I would show you more things than what I'm going to be able to show you here. But when you talk about graphic design badges, it's this kind of thing. This is a Google image search for graphic design badges, and you see all the stuff, right? I think they're so much fun. And I can't spend forever going into a ton of detail, but over here on the right, this one over on the right has a lot of fun shapes, and they're pretty basic. Little Pathfinder work, little imagination, little addition. You can do fun stuff. You don't have to put any text on them today. I'm more just interested in the shapes that you come up with. So I'm going to show you a few examples, and then let's go to work. Now, the way I'm doing this right now, folks, I'll be honest with you. I'm not on a Chromebook right now, but you could do this on a Chromebook. I have several Google Chrome tabs open, and one of them happens to be the one that I have connected to the remote desktop. You can do other things on other tabs. The thing you have to get used to with this remote desktop is that it's kind of like this one tab is like a separate computer. It's like being connected to school, to our network at school, but I've got all these other tabs open that I'm doing other stuff, and these would be, like for you, these would be on my Chromebook. These would just be Chromebook tabs, but I got this one tab that is connected to the virtual desktop or to the remote desktop. Now, I've already done all the things like sign into Creative Cloud and sign into Drive file stream, and I've already done all that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start up Illustrator and show you this thing. All right, so I'm firing up Illustrator, and it'll be ready to rock and roll here in a second. And like I said, it's just little imagination, have a little fun. I am going to show you a new little trick called offset path, which I think is way cool, but what do I know? I'm a nerd, right? Okay, Illustrator's firing up here. Communicate with me, you guys. If you are having trouble getting connected, just send me an email, and I'll try to help you, but I don't want stress about this. You can do the alternative assignments really pretty quick and easy too. So, all right, I'm going to click Create New, and I'll pull this new document window up here in the middle a little bit and go to Print. I'm going to do Letter. I like Landscape, but you do whatever you want. Let's get an artboard going, shall we? All right, so here it comes. I'm going to go ahead and close this window. You have to connect and do all that sign-in stuff every time you use the remote desktop, so it kind of thinks, oh, this is a new person, like every time. Okay, so here we go. Let's just look at some stuff. I'm going to create. I went and got the polygon tool, and I'm going to make a hexagon, and I'm just going to set that to some default colors for the time being. But I'll change that here in a minute. I'm going to stretch that out and make it bigger, and I'm going to rotate it like that because I want the point up. All right, so I'm going to start off with something like that. It's just a hexagon, right? Now, again, gosh, use your imagination. I'm going to take the white arrow, I'm going to grab some anchors here, and I'm going to pull those anchors straight down, if it'll let me do so. I just want to elongate that hexagon a little bit. So that was white arrow, I grabbed the 3 bottom anchors and I stretched it out a little bit. Now I'm just going to go get the rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw, you know, a rectangle that kind of overlaps it a little bit like that. Okay, there we go. Now there are, if you select both of those over here on the properties panel, there are these align things. I can align horizontal and line vertical to make sure that they're all nice and centered together. You can use those buttons over there. And then I'm going to unite those shapes together. Boom. Oh man, look at that. See? That's kind of like, and I'm going to hop over here to this other tab. That's like one I saw over here on this tab, right? I got the idea over here. So that's not bad, right? If I click on that, I might pull up a quick, I'm going to go to color properties. I'm going to get a panel of swatches that I like here. All right, I'll just give that kind of like a green color and maybe stroke that. I don't, you know, it doesn't matter what you do with color. And really, even that is okay, but I do want to show you this offset path trick here. And I'll do it on this one. I may not do it on the others. I do this, and I come over here on the right-hand side, and there's this quick actions button, and I say offset path. Now, I can offset it by as much as I want to. If I hit 20 and I hit preview, you see what it did. Look in the background there. I hit preview, and it made another, you know, like exact copy. And you could play with these settings here for, you want the joints to be rounded or beveled or mitered, or, you know, whatever you want. You can kind of do that whatever you want, and the miter limit and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And what I've really got there, I could even change the color. Look at this. I could change the color of that one that's in the back there, the one that I offset. So look, that's kind of cool. Look at that, yeah. And then, you know, imagine putting things like text on there and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to Control-G group it, and that's one. Size that down a little bit, park it over here, and let's do something else, right? I'm going to start this one off with just a rectangle. Man, go get yourself some ideas and have a little fun. And I'm going to take the pen tool here, and I'm going to add an anchor point right on the bottom of that. All right, so but if you take the pen tool, you can click on the edge of a shape, and it will add a new anchor point. Now I want to take the white arrow tool, and I'm going to grab that anchor point and just pull it down some. Not a lot. I just want to kind of bring it down a little bit. Smart guides are helping me out there a little bit. Now I'm going to draw a not too big-ish circle, yeah, about like that, I think, and I'll just make that black and white so you can see it a little bit better for what I'm doing. And I'm gonna alt drag that so that I have a copy of it. There we go. I should have a copy of it now. I do. Oh, nope. What? No. I'm having trouble getting my copy that I want. Yay, I did it. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm going to take this. I'm going to put the center of that circle right on there, because what I want to do here is do a minus front. Boom. And see how it cut out that little scalloped, it kind of made a scallop corner on the top of that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put the center of this circle sitting right on that corner of that and get both of those shapes selected and do a minus front. And it's making kind of like a shield. Now I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but I'm going to convert that to a curve. You know what? I don't already. So I'm going to undo that. I don't really think that I want to. Oh, you know what? Remote desktop. Let's just do edit undo. Okay, there we go. So even that's not terrible, right? I don't think it's terrible. I don't know if you agree with me or not. And I could play with that offset path thing if you wanted to. Maybe I don't want quite so much of an offset this time. I'll just do like a 5 pixel. I'm probably going to need more than that. Let's do like a 10 pixel offset. Turn preview off and back on. And let's not do the bevel this time. Let's just miter that. Yeah. I'm liking what I'm getting. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Boom. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad. going to Control G, group that, or I'll just do object group. There we go. Park that over here. All right. So I'm gonna throw together one more here. I'm going to use an ellipse this time, and I'll draw like a perfect circle. Boom. And I might copy that. All right. There we go. And I'm going to make this one slightly bigger here. I'm going to hold the Shift key and make it slightly bigger, and just give it a different color. And then I'm going to lay that on there, and I'm going to make sure, and that's a little bit like offsetting a path, but I'm just going to make sure those are aligned right in there. And then I think I'm also going to lay a rectangle across here. Yeah, and again, gosh, I'll just play with a little bit of color there, and I might even take this circle and unite those together, and that is not terrible. I'm going to align those some, bring those up, boom. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, right? So you know, again, I'm going to flip over here to this. My goodness, look at all the possibilities. I wish I could spend an hour on here. Well, you don't. You don't want me to do that. But this is so much fun, in my opinion, to play around with, is trying to create badges like the things that you see when you do a little search. And again, remember, you know, use the tabs to your advantage here. You know, I've got different things going on. This is the tab that is connected to the remote desktop, and I can do all the Illustrator stuff. But I got these other tabs. I can go look at other things. Okay, cool. All right, so anyway, this is done. So I'm gonna remind you about this. I connected to that Drive file stream, so I'm gonna go File, Save As. And if I look on my little window where I can save things here, you see my Google Drive right there. It's going to be Drive G. And that's under Quick Access too. Look at that, it's listed under Quick Access. I might just click on Google Drive file stream, Drive G, double click here on my drive, call this Badges. And then what this is going to do is save it on my Google Drive. So even when I disconnect away off of the remote desktop, it's on my Google Drive. And if you can't get that to Schoology, then email it to me or share it with me or do whatever. All right, so I'm going to get out of Illustrator. Clear clipboard's fine. And the other thing to remember here is when you're all done in Illustrator, go down to the Windows button, or when you're all done on the remote desktop, close everything on this remote desktop and go down to the Windows button and click the power button and shut that down, shut that remote connection down. Give it a second here. Should come along and say you have been disconnected. Close that, and now I can close that tab up here. This tab is now a disconnected. I'm not connected to the remote desktop anymore, so I'll just close that. And then if I were to go look on my Google Drive, let me refresh this once because I just bet up here. Oh, look up here on my recent things here. Look, I just made that connected remotely to the remote desktop, and I saved it on my Google Drive, and bingo, there it is. All right. Well, let's give this a shot, and like I said, communicate with me if they're, if something's not working. Let's not stress over it. Let's try, and if it doesn't work, then you do the alternative assignment. But let's just do the best we can. All right. Fist bump. See you later.